Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Only it was no raven, it was a buttload of Nintendo Switch news. I have no idea why I was compelled to do that kind of dramatic opening to this video, but I did. Hello again, I am Blunty, and nevermore, are we gamers so enthused and excited than this close to a brand new console launch? And as of today, the hardware preview embargoes have ended for the press who received Nintendo Switch review units. And we, a week before launch day, are finally learning some important facts. Take note though, these are not full reviews. That kind of coverage is still under embargo, along with the reviews of the software titles. That embargo doesn't end until like a day or two before launch. Sigh. But like I said, we are now learning some cool things. For a start, concerns about fan noise, especially when in handheld mode, have been put to rest. More than a few previews noting how nearly utterly silent it is in handheld mode. Of rather more concern, though, is the multiple reports of connectivity issues with the Joycons. Polygon, Kotaku, and Digital Chumps, for example, have all reported Joycons disconnecting in mid-play. That's not good. Now, of course, I never put much stock in what Kotaku, quote-unquote, writers have to say on anything more sophisticated and complex than the correct spelling of their own names, but Polygon, yeah. Polygon also cite unnamed other reviewers they've been talking to that have been telling them the same thing. The issue seems to be restricted to using the Joy-Cons in the Comfort Grip accessory, and it seems many are laying their hopes on a fix for this with a day one patch, which is certainly possible, but not certain. It depends on exactly what the root cause is. Is it hardware? Is it something the drivers are doing? Is it some quirk in the software? Reason to be concerned, but not yet panic and flail. Although you can be sure the Nintendo haters are going to be shooting this ammo all over the place for the next few days. This same Day 1 update, by the way, has locked reviewers out of account registration and retrieval, online play, wireless networking for protected hotspots, and the online store. Also, without the Day 1 update, they can't share images to social media via the built-in screenshot share functionality, can't even link your existing Nintendo account to the device. So we'll have exactly zero coverage of those important aspects from independent sources before launch day. In the good news column, Nintendo's press release reveals that the Day 1 patch, and presumably similar patches and updates going forward, download in the background and are designed to install quickly and won't disrupt gameplay. Which is an odd thing to say, because if you're updating the operating system, the underlying code that the game is running on top of, you kind of have to interrupt the game to change that code, so there's probably a loophole there somewhere. But in either case, it's nice, especially for those of us who've lived through Day 1 patches where our brand new devices or games remain utterly unusable for achingly long periods of time, sometimes even hours, while they squat on a trickling progress bar on the screen. But we shall also have to wait and see if Nintendo's historically fragile infrastructure can even cope and keep up with rolling out these Day 1 updates without yet another server meltdown disaster. Further to that, and in fact addressing concerns I raised in one of my other videos about a situation that could leave you with one version of a game while someone else has an updated version of the same game, an update you haven't had a chance to download yet, meaning you would likely be locked out of being able to play local multiplayer, because of course being on the same version of the game is usually a prerequisite for that function. Well, props to Nintendo. It seems they're including the ability to locally share updates and patches without needing discrete Wi-Fi access points and an internet connection. Problem solved. Local multiplayer patch compatibility is now assured, even while you're away from access to the web completely. Many preview articles have also praised the speed of the system's interface, which, given how put a bullet in your headingly, ploddingly, and slow the Wii U's interface was, and in fact still is to this very day, is very good news indeed. Another thankful aspect of the interface is the complete lack of stupid, monotonous, skull-drilling, tinkling, plinkling, Nintendo's stupid, unstoppable, tedious, boring background music from the 3DS and Wii U's menus. Instead, beautiful silence, so you can have your system idling without driving yourself in friggin' sane or being forced to mute the device. NF Magazine, seemingly unaware what the word meme actually stems from and means, or apparently think it applies to any image at all with text on it, apparently, have a video demonstrating this very basic function. I'm hoping down the line this grows into a slightly more sophisticated image editing interface with at least the ability to crop and tilt and make other basic adjustments. But for now, you can whack text on them and rotate it and move it about and give it a coloured border and stuff. Then it's nice you'll be able to directly caption your screenshots for a bit of extra personal zing to your sharing. Back to disappointing news again, though. Nintendo has now officially confirmed, via their press release, that Virtual Console games will not be available on Nintendo Switch at launch. We will share more information in the future. So that's a bit of a kick in the dick, and also a huge reduction in the library of titles that could have been there on day one. A launch lineup that has already been broadly criticised for being very thin indeed. I would have thought Nintendo would be very eager to counterpunch this criticism with a nice selection of Virtual Console titles. Perhaps even a few new ones. Perhaps even a GameCube one or two. But no. We still will, however, have the Eshop, which will be there day one, and Nintendo have confirmed that Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment, and Shovel Knight Treasure Trove will both be there day one. Good news for Shovel Knight fans. Along with Fast RMX, which in another video I also predicted would probably be there day one on the Eshop too, so yay me, I got it right. Also, a couple of days before launch, Nintendo will have a live stream showcase for indie eShop titles, or Nindies as they want to call them, which is just stupid, over 60 of which are already slated for release in the coming year. And finally, in news we were all hoping to hear, but even though it made sense, you could never really assume it would be the case because Nintendo will Nintendo for as long as Nintendo can Nintendo, to paraphrase some big English fatty. But it's now officially confirmed that Wii U and 3DS eShop funds can now be carried over to the Switch. So that's nice. I think I've got like $3.40 left that's been sitting there since I bought Pokemon Yellow. I guess I can go ahead and top that up now that I know it's not going to be locked into the old systems accounts, so I can have some funds ready to go for launch day. You know, just in case there's an indie that takes my fancy, or indeed if I weaken in my resolve and go ahead and snatch up that Zelda DLC pass for my day one bonus of a few chests in the starting area. And of course, thanks to the glorious fact of a round planet Earth and the international dateline that comes with it, we Aussies and New Zealanders will be the first in the world to hit release day, just 6 days and something teen hours left as I say these words into this mic. I will be going to my local midnight launch, and once I get back home with my brand new Nintendo Switch, I'll be kicking off a live stream on my Twitch channel. Just FYI for those interested, because I very rarely plug my Twitch streams on my channel here, but you know, I figure a few more of you than usual may be interested in watching that particular stream. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting day or two as we decompress all these preview impressions for the Nintendo Switch. I can barely wait to find out what we learn next. Thanks for watching, I am Blunty, and I'll catch you next time.